Brown eyes. Brown eyes have a lot of a dark thing called melanin. Melanin is a natural color inside your body. It gives color to your eyes, skin, and hair. It also works like a shield. It soaks up strong light from the sun so it does not hurt your eyes. In bright places like open fields with strong sun, brown eyes help protect the inside of the eye. They stop some of the sun's rays before they can reach deeper parts of the eye. This lowers the chance of damage over many years. It helps the eyes stay healthy and able to see well. In the iris, which is the colored ring of the eye, melanin absorbs light instead of letting it bounce around. Because of this, brown eyes do not change much when the light around you changes. They stay steady and calm in bright light. This can make brown eyes less sensitive to glare, which is the sharp, painful kind of bright light. Brown eyes also help lower the risk of some sun-related eye problems. For example, they can reduce the chance of strong light hurting cells in the back of the eye. This helps guard the part of the eye that lets you see fine detail, like words on a page or tiny shapes. Most people in the world have brown eyes. This shows that brown eyes were very useful as humans grew and moved in sunny places. Brown eyes are common because they worked well for many people over a very long time. In most light, brown eyes look deep and even in color. But in special light, like candlelight or the soft light at sunrise or sunset, they can show hidden gold or copper tones. This happens when some light scatters off the top layers of the iris, letting warm tints peek through the dark base color. Blue eyes. Blue eyes have very little melanin in the iris, the colored ring of the eye. Because there is less melanin, more light can enter the eye. This can help in dim places, like on cloudy days or in long winters, because the eye gets more light to use for seeing. Blue eyes do not look blue because of blue color inside them. They look blue because of the way light moves through them. When light hits the iris, tiny parts inside it spread the light out. This is called light scattering. Short, blue waves of light bounce back toward the outside, and longer waves go deeper. Your eye looks blue because those short blue waves are the ones you see. This same idea is what makes the sky look blue. Air in the sky scatters light in a similar way. The sky has no blue paint in it, and the iris has no blue paint in it. They both just bend and spread light, so we see blue when we look at them. Blue eyes can change how they look in different light. In bright sun, they may look very light or icy. In soft or weak light, they may look more gray or mixed. This is because the amount and angle of light changes how much scattering happens and which parts of the iris you can see clearly. Long ago, a change in a gene made some people produce less melanin in the iris. This gene change led to the first blue eyes. Over time, this trait spread in places with less sun. In these darker places, eyes that let in more light could be helpful because they made it easier to see when light was low for many months of the year. Blue eyes do not block sunlight as well as dark eyes. They give less natural shade inside the eye, so they can be more sensitive to bright light. But this same trait, letting more light in, can be useful in dim conditions. It is a trade-off: less built-in shade in strong light, but more help in weak light. Green eyes. Green eyes have a mix of two kinds of color inside the iris. One is melanin, the dark pigment that blocks light. The other is a yellow pigment called lipochrome. When light hits this mix, some light is soaked up and some is scattered, and the eye looks green to us. Green eyes have more melanin than blue eyes, but less than brown eyes. This means they let in more light than brown eyes, but block more light than blue eyes. Because of this, they sit in the middle between very light eyes and very dark eyes. They offer some protection from bright light, but still work well in softer light. This in-between level can be useful in places where light changes a lot, like forests, hills, and areas with both sun and shade. In these places, green eyes can handle bright spots without too much strain, but they also do not lose as much detail when the light gets softer. They are flexible in many kinds of daylight. The green color is not from a pure green dye. It comes from the way yellow pigment and brown melanin sit in layers in the iris. Blue light scattering on top of these colors makes the eye look green. If there were a lot more melanin, the eye would look brown. If there were a lot less, the eye would look blue-green. Is the result of a very exact balance. Only a small number of people in the world have green eyes. This makes them rare. Because they are rare, they stand out in a group. Standing out can sometimes bring social attention, which may give small social benefits, like being noticed more easily in a crowd or remembered more clearly. Green eyes also change a bit with light. In shadow, they can look darker or mossy because less light reaches the yellow and brown layers. In bright sun, more light bounces inside the iris, and they can look brighter or more golden green. This change comes from the way light levels affect scattering, not from the eye truly changing its base color. Hazel eyes. Hazel eyes sit between light and dark on the melanin scale. Melanin is the dark pigment that blocks light. Hazel eyes have a medium amount, so they do not let in too much light or too little. This medium level helps in many kinds of places. In bright sun, hazel eyes still give some shade inside the eye. In shade or clouds, they still let in enough light to see well. This makes them useful in areas with changing seasons and mixed weather. Hazel eyes often look like they change color. They can look green, gold, or brown at different times. This happens because the iris has both both melanin and a yellow pigment called lipochrome. Light hits these layers in new ways when you move, or when the light changes. The color shift is not a trick. It is a real effect from how light scatters in the iris. In bright light, more light bounces back from the yellow and light brown parts, so the eyes may look greener or more golden. In low light, the darker brown parts stand out more, so the eyes can look deeper and darker. Hazel eyes are common in people whose families come from many places, such as parts of Europe or the Middle East. They show that eye color can be a blend of traits, not just one simple color. This blend helps hazel eyes work well across a wide range of light conditions. Amber eyes. Amber eyes have a strong yellow-gold pigment called lipochrome and only a small amount of melanin. Lipochrome is a yellow color inside the iris. When light hits this pigment, the iris looks like honey, copper, or bright gold. Amber eyes are more solid in color than hazel eyes. Hazel eyes often look mixed or patchy, with green and brown areas. Amber eyes look more even, like one smooth golden shade. They keep this look in bright light, low light, and shade. Because amber eyes are rare, they stand out when people see them. Standing out can act like a visual signal. It can make faces easier to notice and remember. This can give small social advantages, like being recognized more quickly in a group. Amber eyes are found more often in some families, such as people from parts of Southern Europe, Asia, or South America. This pattern shows that the genes for strong lipochrome color spread more in some regions than in others. Gray eyes. Gray eyes have even less melanin than blue eyes. Because there is so little melanin, light spreads out more inside the iris. This wide spread is what gives them a soft gray look. The gray color does not come from gray dye. It comes from light scattering in many directions. The iris reflects light in a way that mixes several colors, so your eyes look silver, slate, or pale gray. Gray eyes can seem to change with the light. In bright light, they may look light silver. In dim light, they may look darker or show hints of blue or green. This shift happens because different parts of the iris show more when light levels change. Having very little melanin lets more light move around inside the eye. This can help in places with weak or soft light, such as cloudy or foggy areas. But it also means gray eyes can be more sensitive to strong sun, since they block less light. Gray eyes are rare in the world. Only a small part of the population has them. This makes them stand out and easy to notice, but it also means they are mostly seen in certain groups, such as some families in Northern or Eastern Europe. Black eyes. Black eyes are not truly black. They are a very dark form of brown. The iris has a lot of melanin, the dark pigment that blocks light. Because there is so much melanin, most of the light that enters the eye gets soaked up. This strong melanin shield gives very good protection from bright sun. It helps cut down glare and harsh light. This can be useful in places near the equator, where sunlight is strong most of the year and the sun is high in the sky. Since black eyes absorb so much light, they look the same in many kinds of light. They do not seem to change color in sun, shade, or indoors. This steady look means the iris does not let much extra light bounce around inside the eye. The strong light blocking effect can lower strain on the eyes in very bright settings. It may also help reduce the risk of some light-related eye damage over a lifetime. In this way, very dark eyes can support eye health where UV light is strong every day. Black eyes are common in many groups, such as people from parts of Africa, South Asia, and Southeast Asia. Their widespread in sunny areas shows how useful heavy melanin can be as a natural shield for vision. Heterochromia. Heterochromia is when a person has two eyes with different colors, or one eye that has more than one clear color area. One iris may be blue while the other is brown, or one iris may be mostly one color with a smaller patch of another color. In most people, melanin is spread in the same way in both irises. In heterochromia, the spread of melanin is uneven. One eye or part of one eye makes more or less melanin than the other. This difference often starts very early, when the eyes are still forming in the womb. A small change in a gene, or in how cells grow, can change how much melanin certain iris cells make. These small changes usually do not harm how the eye works. Most cases of heterochromia do not affect sight. The person can see just as well as someone with matching eyes. The change is mainly in color, not in the parts that focus light or send signals to the brain. Sometimes heterochromia is present at birth and runs in families. Other times, it appears later. It can come from an eye injury, swelling inside the eye, or certain health problems that change melanin in the iris. Because heterochromia is rare, it can make a face easy to notice and remember. This can give small social effects like standing out in photos or being recognized more quickly. In this way, the main advantage is about how others see and respond to a unique look.